I watched a trailer for Unhinged, which I have heard today. I don't know how accurate this is, but I heard that Unhinged is going to be one of the first movies that is coming out on the big screen when the theaters reopen in hopefully July. So did not know that last night when I watched the trailer, but I heard that today on the radio somewhere. But anyway, at the end of that trailer, there was a little thumbnail for another movie called Blood Quantum. And the video that I watched for Unhinged was on a third-party site because I didn't know who made it, and it was on IGN's YouTube channel. So I did some searching to see if I could find the original place that this comes from, and I found out it's a Shudder movie. So I have Shudder, as I've mentioned before, so that means I'll be able to watch this whenever it's available. I haven't seen it up yet, unless I just haven't noticed. But anyway, I found, now this particular trailer is a couple months old. The one that was on IGN looks like it was just put up a couple of, did I say a couple weeks? I think this one is maybe a couple months old or something like that. But the one on IGN is more recent. However, when I started playing them, like the first 1 or 2 seconds, they look like they were starting off, the same. So I decided to go with Shudder's, with Shudder's trailer, because I try to always go to the original source. So I don't know much of what this is about, except I think I saw mention of zombies. So I'm just going to go ahead and press play. Okay.
So how long were you out there for?
I lost track of the time.
Did you get bit?
This planet we're on is so
Never
sick of
heard
our
of
shit.
that.
That's why the dead keep coming back to life.
You're immune. I'm not. What if my baby isn't either?
It's bad. Ninagasi.
I heard that you could cure bites here.
Ain't nobody immune here but us.
One of them could come in here and infect this entire camp.
Behind you.
You want to live?
Who says we're immune?
Dukja uksid hamo, awenda sui lexiko.
Okay. Coming soon, but when? Do they have a date? Let me see. No, they don't have a date. So at some point. All right. This looks like fun. The trailer was not that long. To get to here, it's only 1:37. So pretty tightly composed, constructed, put together, whatever. We know it's about zombies, and there's this, looks like there's a sort of an underlying theme of people being immune. And obviously, there was something that they said on there, something about social commentary or social something. And I kind of wonder if they're mentioning that because of just sort of kind of tying into everything that's going on right now, the world and the pandemic and everybody kind of losing their minds. Not everybody, but a lot of people. And it kind of I wonder if that's what they're referring to. Not sure. Because obviously this was made surely before all of this stuff was happening, but as it's coming out now, maybe they're sort of, kind of tapping into that, what's on everybody's mind. And of course, zombie stories are basically about viruses and people getting infected. And, so it's scary when you think of, something like that. You get infected, and the only outcome in the case of, the zombie virus, or the zombie apocalypse, the only outcome of being affected for almost everybody. I mean, every once in a while there are stories where they write where someone's immune, or they were able to, like in The Walking Dead, they cut off somebody's leg and saved him, which I don't see how that was possible, you guys, because by the time they got his leg cut off, his heart would have been pumping several times. That infection would have been spread throughout his body. That never really made sense to me, but that's a tangent. But anyway, for the most part, when someone is infected with the zombie virus, they die. They're just done for pretty much. So it makes it obviously the stakes are high in movies like that, and sometimes it doesn't take much. Sometimes it takes a bite. Sometimes it's a bite and a scratch. So basically, part of the horror is you're living in this environment that is very deadly, dangerous, but at the same time, it's not just the virus that's a problem. People are a problem, which is one of the things that really adds to the horror aspect of it, because people are dang scary, you guys. I mean, when society collapses and the people that end up kind of, just running all over other people are not very good folks. And also the situations that people can get thrown in stories like this, it often changes them, makes them, they end up doing things that goes against their nature. It's just, to me, that's what makes stuff like this so horrifying. When you think about end of the world type scenarios or apocalyptic scenarios, the breakdown, the collapse of society and civilization. To me, that's the true horror of stories that focus on zombie apocalypse type stuff, or any sort of thing where a virus has wiped out a bunch of people. In this case, it's not just wiped them out. Now they're these walking monsters. That's part of the horror of it. But yeah, the biggest horror is, dealing with the rest of humanity. So I didn't mean to go on and on about that, but that's kind of what, for some people, that's a real appeal. They like stories like that, and they're okay. I'm not really super crazy about apocalyptic themed stories because they're just so dang depressing. It's sad and scary to think about something like that happening, and it really wouldn't take much to tip societies over into that sort of situation. It doesn't, to take away the whole horror element of zombies, but imagine an EMP attack, on a lot of countries in the world that depend on electricity. Imagine an EMP attack that completely demolishes the grid. We would end up like societies like what happens to people in zombie apocalypse movies. So it's scary because it doesn't take much. It does not take much to make people descend into outright panic and, doing things, a government stepping in and, implementing very harsh, regulations and rules on people because they're panicked or because they're seizing on the panic to be able to control people. I mean, this is very timely. Anyway. So this movie looks interesting. It is something that I would like to check out, even though I'm not a huge fan of apocalyptic. I like zombie stuff, okay. I'm not the hugest fan of zombie horror. I prefer other types of horror. But this is something that I would watch. My son likes zombie stuff too, so he'll probably maybe want to check it out as well. So I don't know when it's coming out, but I will see it at some point on Shudder. Now, if this trailer is a couple months old, which I thought this one was, the one on Shudder's YouTube channel, then I don't know. Maybe it is out, but I just don't think you know what? It does seem a little familiar to me. Maybe I have seen it up on their app. I bet I have. I just haven't watched it yet. Now I'm curious. I'm going to go check. I'm going to go to the app and check it out at some point. So put it in my to watch list. Okay. Well, I guess that's all I have for this one. So I'm going to wrap it up. I might check out another trailer or two before I call it quits. So later, guys.